Figster. Figster. You guys were like hugging and kissing just a little bit, and I always miss it. I don't get my phone out fast enough. Theo, do you love Figgy? Do you love Figgy? Oh, yes. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh. Okay, that was too much. That was too much. Going through my bookshelves again, and it's always a dilemma to keep old magazines or not, right? You keep them as mementos and scrapbooking, but then when they're on a shelf for years, decades even, and you don't look at them, and who's gonna want them? Who's gonna care? It's kind of like, oh, and this is kind of before we even had social media and stuff. I mean, we used to kind of put things that magazines we were on our website, but then it just got tedious and silly. Like, oh, I was in this magazine. Who cares, right? But so the Artist magazine isn't even out anymore. This is from October 2005. And I kind of flipped through here going, what is in here? And this, well, look at how incredibly dark that picture came out. So that is also the problem, that when we're sending stuff to magazines, especially in the day, I mean, just look at it went pure black. And this paintings, I mean, the darks were all like brown and red, like transparent oxide red. So that is the issue with sending images, especially in the olden days. I think this painting was actually bought by Jim Wilcox from Wilcox Gallery, and the artist. So that's nice. Most likely to succeed. Holy crap, what a title. Want to be a professional artist but aren't sure where to begin? Here are a few pointers to get you started. I mean, I probably had no idea. Scott probably wrote this. Should I go to art school? Which one should I attend? What's a good way to advertise your work? Okay, what did I say? Oh God, 2005. Once you're selling your work, whether yourself or through galleries, the most important thing is to always think long-term. Being honest when dealing with galleries and collectors, promoting yourself through advertisements and articles, and establishing a reliable reputation are crucial to making it. I mean, come on. Like, what do you obviously say? It's one of the few still lifes, although that still life really came out dark also. Here's a photograph of me. That's the photograph Scott took of me painting in the Forbidden City in Beijing. Can too much business ever be a bad thing? Fascinating. The hardest thing for me to deal with is deadlines. Sometimes the art world thinks more in terms of quantity instead of quality. And you absolutely have to resist this pressure to create if you want to keep improving. Know your own limits and learn to say no to things if you're getting stretched too thin. Well, it took me a very, very, very long time to figure that out. I think finally I've kind of been able to say no and realize that you're going to live through it and that opportunities will come. Oh my gosh, Jane Seymour. Okay. It's like these kind of magazines are probably in the archive of the... I do love looking through these and seeing, like, are these artists still out there? Do I still see them? Oh, Juliet Aristides. She has some of the best art books. Just really understanding. And I think she runs a school. I know she used to. It says here, as an instructor at the Aristides Classical Atelier in Seattle. I think they moved it and changed it to be called Gage Academy. I'm not 100% positive, but no, it's a nice drawing. Yeah, I really like that. I love doing figure sketch, but to be honest with you, it took me years to like it. I hated my figure sketches because I just didn't have the touch, always judged them. Oh, Wendy Corporell. She was just at the Portrait Society. She was doing a pastel also. So it is fun. Oh, Albert Handel. It is fun to kind of look through these magazines. Ryan Wormser, Julie Chapman, and see, like this. It's kind of like going back through memory lane. Anyways, so now I can get rid of this magazine. I don't have to keep it. It makes me feel okay about getting rid of it, you know? I'm fine with that. This is another one. I mean, Scott's on the cover. The Artist magazine. What year was this? October. October 2001, right after September 11th. So this was a young model that we met. Her family was from the Dominican Republic. And this is a painting that is not thick. Scott did definitely, it's not like a glazing, but it was just more of a traditional, more of a thin. Who's that? I don't know. That's nice. But let's see. Oh, infinity paint. Oh, Winsor Newton. Well, I've never heard. Oh, acrylic. Infinity. Isn't it fun? It's kind of like, what did they used to sell? Do they still sell this stuff? So let's quickly go through the magazine and see. I did not look to see where Scott's article was. The most vibrant season. A lot of ads, you know, and I hate when the ads are bigger than the actual explanation of, you know, how to paint. That's a problem. Oh, let's see. Oh, reflections. Oh, this is the studio of N.C. Wyeth. Scott and I did visit that once. You know, they kept it completely, like, they didn't modernize it at all on the inside. So if you guys get a chance in Pennsylvania, go visit his studio. It's pretty cool. Lots and lots and lots of... Oh, here we go. The great debate. Can the use of photography stunt... Oh, my cat is playing with something on the floor. Can the use of photography stunt your artistic vision or set it free? Knowing when to refer to snapshots and when to stick with the here and now. All right, well, Scott and I have always been honest that we use a lot of photos because of the way that the poses we like. It's been said that politics and religions are subjects best avoided at social functions. But in a gathering of artists, passions flare brightest at the mention of working from life versus photographs. Such is the stigma in some minds that I've even known artists who publicly decry the use of cameras, yet secretly paint a large number of their works with the aid of the so-called enemy of art. Personally, my own views aren't so extreme. I believe every method of doing a painting has its advantages, whether you work from life, sketches, photos, or a combination. So obviously this was a painting, I think this is from China. So, you know, it was done from a market. It's a pretty big painting. It's a 30 by 40. And then this is a really huge painting. So Scott did this one from life. We had, oh, Theo, you know, we had her, Scott did the little girl from a photo, but she posed and we got all these pumpkins. It's called Apple Pie. And I guess that's 30 by 40 also. I thought it was bigger. And this is 30 by 40 and that's done from a photo. So yeah, the whole idea is doing enough of this, but also understanding what photos do, that they lie to you. And Scott is extremely good at understanding, you know, just to simplify and edit. Yeah, I don't think I need to actually read this whole thing. Here's an instructive exercise to help you use photography to your best advantage. Set up several still lifes under different conditions: north light, spotlight, sunlight. Take the best photos you can of each setup and then compare them to the real thing, studying the differences and thinking what you need to change in the photo to make it look more like the actual scene. You can also do this with landscape scenes. Just jot down the precise time and weather conditions when you took your photo to later comparison. Here's a watercolor. This is a watercolor subject when Scott and I went to, it was in 2001, I went with my parents actually, to Eastern Europe. So we went to like Prague and Budapest. And one time we went and there was like we went to some exhibition show thing where these Hungarian horsemen, you know, went and did sort of a show for us. And then this is a woman that, oh, that's right. This was done at the palette and chisel. So this was probably one of those times when we went back to visit. And then Scott says, I've done thousands of one-session portrait sketches from life, like this one, a 24 by 18 at the Palette and Chisel Academy of Art in Chicago. So she was a Mexican grandmother that somebody had hired, and I remember vividly because she didn't speak any English. So just the best of both worlds. Obviously he had to do this from a photograph because you would never be able to get that. But, oh, and who did this? John Budison. Oh my gosh. Scott used to paint with him at plein air shows, but Scott hasn't painted plein air shows in a very long time. Look at that. But no, John is a master. Really understanding, how to do landscape. Look at that. John lives in California. So I'm sure if you just, there's his name, if you just Google him, John Budison, you'll be able to get to his, whatever. So now I feel like, okay, now I can get rid of this magazine. The last thing I want to talk about is Betina Stanky. Now, Betina Stanky was an incredibly huge influence, still is. I just think she's a master. And a lot of, she was, at a time in the 40s, 50s, 60s, when women did not get a lot of opportunities, and the Western art men just loved her. So this was a retrospective that Scott and I saw at the National Cowboy Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City in the 90s. I'm going to say early 90s. I don't know if it even has it in here. But she was amazing. I'm not going to get rid of this. But 1995. Okay. I want to do a whole video on Betina Stanky. So probably what I'll do is I'll show more of this. And really, I've been saving a lot of her work from Pinterest. Also, I bought this book a few years ago in Santa Fe. There's just not books on her. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this book is, okay, but it's, these old books, they don't have great reproductions. But she is just fantastic. So when I do my video just as like an artist profile, look at all this writing and not enough pictures. So many men actually just took her style and then became famous from it. Anyway, so shout out to Betina Stanky. I love it when the kitties love sleeping in their little carriers. Hey Fig, do you like your little house? This is what we take you in to go to the vet. But it's like a little tent for you, isn't that sweet? Yes, you get to play in it. It's so adorable. Yes. All right, you take a nap. Getting ready for a model session, and I have such bad allergies today that I don't feel great. So I even put this air purifier, hoping that, I don't know, but like I feel my eyes don't want to open. So I'm in the corner. I don't have great light in the corner, so I'm using my Pushad light. I haven't turned it on yet. Very limited palette. I don't think I'm gonna try and experiment. Just ultramarine blue, permanent matter, that is a burnt umber. And then that's a Venetian red or a cad red. I don't even know, we'll see. Titanium white, gel medium. Maybe I'll use that, who knows. I'm working on the gesso board that I toned. And
hi there.
Hey Arlene, Arlene's gonna come meet us. And Scott says that this was a board that he used as a palette for one of our Zoom paint-alongs. And oh my God, look at that color. That does not excite me. In fact, it looks like there's a lot of dry bits in there. But yeah, see how close we get? Just want you guys to see, we get as close as we possibly can. Here comes Belinda. Alrighty, we're getting ready for, I hope my eyes get better. I'm gonna take another allergy pill. Me standing at the corner of my building, waiting for my model. She texted, said that there was traffic, so okay. It's pretty muggy out. At 2 Allegra, an air purifier machine in the studio. I'm actually starting to feel a little better. Allegra does work miracles. You see how, look at how exciting downtown Winston-Salem is on a Tuesday morning. pretty quiet. Oh, there she is. Oh my God. I had asked her to, let's do something fun with her hair. And here she comes. Here she comes. You know what? That parking lot was completely filled because that big building right there is a convention center. And that's also maybe why she was having a hard time finding a parking spot. Cannot wait to see what her hair. Oh my God.
Lots of shapes to get in there.
Oh, wow. How did she bring so many shapes?
Always that, but I make lots of mistakes.
That would be nice because I have a little bit of light here.
Uh-huh.
But I thought about it the other way, and I kind of like some of the stuff.
Oh, because you were deciding what the abstract background would look like?
Yeah, just what would be interesting. So I kind of like that up there. And like
It's
that.
interesting that you have her slightly off center.
Yeah, I don't really like putting them exactly in the center.
Especially when you're looking directly at her. Because that way you
Yeah.
can have like the pom-poms and the things coming down here.
Even
and
the one I just finished last week of the girl, you know, who was small in the scene. I like to put her a little bit to one side or the other. For some reason, I don't know. I just
Well,
don't
I
like
like
it.
also the fact that you're using like a limited palette too.
Yeah.
Because she's so colorful, you don't need to like go crazy.
Yeah. No, I kind of felt the background kind of set the tone for that. And then that keeps the glitter, and then keeps pressure in there. And that gives you the pressure for your house. Okay? So you can, now a lot of times the actual things on your, like I redid all the shower heads and everything in my brother's to make it so he has one that's on a pole and he can do, when he sits and does it. So I just switched all that out. And there's different ones that have more energy saver ones.
And not doing it right.
That way you won't get so many hard edges.
It's definitely not as thick as usual.
This color is great.
Oh, you see, that's a nose ring. At first I thought Scott was putting highlights in there, but I'm like, that is a little interesting looking. It's a very limited palette, and he actually is using this gross pile. So fascinating. There's Anne taking a photo of my painting. Hi, Anne. So cute.
Now, once you have that soft kind of shadow underneath it, it's a little easier to then pull out a few little sharp edges and highlights. Because there's not going to be as many of those as there are these soft things. And then if it gets too much, then you go back in and you say, okay, let's just knock this part down. Sue uses a stump a lot when she does that. This kind of stuff, but you can use anything, you know. So then you say, okay, well, we lost a lot of this shadow pattern, but you start to find it again. But you see how once you kind of started to build up that base, it's easier to put things down there.
It looks more natural.
Because you've got that little bit of a ghost under there that's giving you the sharp edge. So you don't have to put it down and necessarily soften it. You've already kind of established some of that soft. So just as you did it was fine. But that's when the stage you start to mess up. You start
Yeah, because then I leave it and I down.
I love the colors you're using, Sharon. What, sweetheart? What, sweetheart? What, darling? I love the colors you're using. Oh my gosh. It's so fun though. It goes with the pose.
I can see the mirror. My eyes right now are like
They're the same skin, almost looks like it's made of So that's enough to just have that very subtle difference, yeah, so, but that's really, and I mean, you can go darker if you want more dramatic, but that's about as light as you can go here, it's still light up there, yeah, yeah. And that's what all of us, we just wanna look into things. That's nice. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. I just thought of it.
Always just a little bit late, Scott. I think that looks cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think I want you to put a couple of her pom-poms coming down.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I just wanted to get this stuff before I.
She's wearing pom-poms, so you have to put the pom-poms in.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, it's very muted. It's not as like colorful. It's fun. Because the headdress is so colorful. It kind of is neat to be kind of muted in colors. All right, last session.
Tell me once again, I could have been anyone else before you made the choice for me. My feet knew the path, we walked in the dark, I never gave a single thought to where it might lead. All those empty rooms, we could have been anywhere else. Instead, I made a bed with apathy. My heart knew the weight, 10 years worth of dust and neglect. We made our peace with weariness.
This is Michael's over here.
A lot of people think I do. I like it.
Oh, he did. Michael did great. Yeah, no, he's getting so good. It's nice to be just working in charcoal so you can just worry about values and drawing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Our model Rose, our friend Michael.
I like it, but I.
Oh my God, I just think about all this paint. It is actually an interesting, just like a design of that white.
I know, isn't it cool?
I think maybe that's a little too strong.
Yeah, I have to work on it more.
I like how I
I'm
really
excited.
I do like how muted her face is. So I think that's really cool to not go into that too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, because everything else is so busy, having her face be really simple looks super cool. So is that an 18 by 24 or 16 by 20? I think that's a 16 by
16
20.
by 20.
Okay, and you're working on what, the Diabond or?
Yeah, it was something that obviously you got or something.
No.
Maybe
Oh,
we got it
artifacts.
We might have got it as a
No,
present.
I think you might have gotten it we've never spent money on that, so it must have been like a prize.
It was probably a prize or
Yeah.
a present from one of the art manufacturers.
Yeah.
I
No,
like it a
you
lot.
like it a lot, and
It's
I know
really
a lot of
nice.
people do like it. I can't really see the name of it, but artifacts. But I know a lot of people are using it, and
Art effects.
art effects. It's this Diabond, and I guess people said you can buy this stuff
really
at
nice, yeah.
a hardware store and just prime it and do it yourself. It's indestructible, so it won't.
Well, if you're shipping it, nothing can poke through it.
Yeah, nothing can poke through it. It won't also be affected by humidity. It's just that you can't do it too big, because otherwise it gets very heavy and very
Well,
expensive.
some people do them really, like David Cassidy
Yeah, no,
does
true.
giant ones like that.
True, you can. It's just expensive.
It's really heavy.
We're pretty
too.
cheap. And I will probably tweak mine. I'd actually tone my board with a little bit of that Venetian red and ultramarine blue and maybe a tad bit of that brown, which created a tiniest bit of that purple effect. That Venetian red was quite potent. And I'm really liking the gesso board, so I might be working on that a lot more.
Oh, it's so fun.
Fun group. I feel so much better. Man, my eyes were killing me. My eyes were killing me this morning, but the two Allegra helped. Oh, little Sharon's painting. Oh, Sharon, it's so sweet. She actually looks a little bit Hawaiian, just because of the flowers in the hair. It looks really cool. I love how you did the necklace so graphic. Good for you, Sharon.
My mentor.
I thought I'd record this, and this might not be at all interesting, but you know, when you look at a life, I'm going through our spare bedroom and seeing things that, you know, we just don't use. This is a dress that I got when I was 17. I'm going to say 17. It could be 16. There you go, Theo. And my mother and I went to one of those wedding dresses in Oak Park, Illinois. Oh, those wedding dress stores. You know, all they do is sell wedding dresses and things, probably for proms. And I had bought like 3 or 4 dresses, I think just because they were on sale. This was even before I was thinking about, you know, using these things for models. So this is like an actual from the 80s. Anyways, I'm gonna donate it to Goodwill. But Scott, we had done paintings with this dress in the 80s of models when we were in Chicago. I don't know. I don't even know where that painting is that we hired. You know, I'm pretty sure I wore this one, but we would also put it in on models and paint them. You know, we were really, really inspired by, of course, Sargent, right? And so you go to wedding dress stores and you buy things that are, oh, look at, we even safety pinned it because it was so big. Anyways, I just thought sentimentality, getting rid of it. Hopefully, you know, who's going to buy this? Some young girl who wants to repurpose clothes, or people who like to cosplay or something. But yeah, no, it's a pretty old dress, but we painted it. Interesting. I'm going through all kinds of costumes right now to see what, you know, we're going to get rid of.
I'm hoping that little Fig sleeps next to Theo and Theo lets him. So far, Theo doesn't really snuggle with Fig, but Fig wants him to. Oh, Theo just sniffs him a lot. Every now and then, oh my gosh, yeah, he's licking him now a little bit. But I want you guys to sleep. I want you to snuggle. Theo, this is your new best friend. Fig's just putting his tail in your face. We thought that this thing would be fun to put on our cats, but they don't really like it. All right, Fig, stop that. Just snuggle next to him. Yeah, how sweet. You're sweet. You're sweet. Oh. Oh. Hi, Annie. I know you don't feel well. I'm so glad I stayed home. I'm able to spend time with you. You get to be up here while I'm on the computer. Keep me company. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, my baby. My baby. Yeah.
Tell me once again, I could have been anyone else before you made the choice for me. My feet knew the path said you